There's a moment in every chosen one's journey, a moment where everything you've worked for, everything you've prayed for, comes down to a single test. This is not just another challenge. This is the final test. It is unavoidable, and it will determine whether you step fully into the destiny that God has prepared for you. If you're watching this, know that you are not here by accident. God has a message just for you, one that will help you navigate this pivotal moment and emerge stronger, wiser, and more aligned with His purpose for your life. You might be feeling overwhelmed, like the weight of everything is on your shoulders, but let me remind you, you are not alone. God is with you every step of the way. This test isn't here to break you. It's here to refine you, to strengthen your faith, and to prepare you for the blessings that are waiting just on the other side. The challenges you face are not punishment. They are preparation. You are being shaped into the person you need to be in order to carry the calling that God has placed upon your life. The road ahead may seem uncertain, but let me assure you, God's timing is perfect, and He has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. The test you're about to face will not defeat you. It will elevate you. You are being prepared for greatness, and with God by your side, nothing can stop you. The key to passing this test lies in your faith, your perseverance, and your unwavering trust in God's plan. So, I encourage you to stay with me throughout this message. Together, we will dive deeper into what this test means, how to approach it with strength and confidence, and why passing it will unlock the door to your divine destiny. If you're ready to take that next step, to trust God's plan and pass this test, then hit that like button, subscribe to stay connected, and leave a comment below about the challenges you're facing and how you are preparing to overcome them. You are not alone in this journey, and together we will walk forward with faith, knowing that God's purpose for your life is about to unfold in incredible ways. Stay strong, and let's dive in. When you hear the word test, what comes to mind? Perhaps you think of an obstacle that you must pass to get to the next level, or a challenge that seems overwhelming. But the test you are facing, the one that stands between where you are now and the divine destiny God has set before you, is much more than that. This is the final test. This is not just another hurdle to jump over. It's the moment that will determine everything about your future. It will decide whether you step fully into your calling or remain stuck in a cycle of waiting, wandering, and wondering what could have been. You may feel the weight of this test, perhaps even fear it, but trust me when I say, it is not here to break you. It is here to prepare you. God's tests are never random. They are not accidents, nor are they just challenges to check your strength or your achievements. This final test is about something deeper: your heart, your faith, your willingness to endure. This test is non-negotiable. You can't bypass it, you can't pray it away, and you certainly can't escape it. This moment is here for a reason, and that reason is to elevate you into the divine destiny that God has been preparing for you your entire life. What you need to understand is that this test is not a punishment, it's a preparation. God is not just testing your ability to succeed. He is testing your ability to remain faithful, to trust Him, even when things seem impossible. It's a test of your character, your endurance, and your ability to stand firm in the midst of trials. God allows this test to come into your life because He knows what you are capable of. He has already equipped you with everything you need to succeed. But there are aspects of your soul, of your character, that need to be refined, strengthened, and perfected. This test is not just about getting through, it's about becoming the person who can carry the blessings that are about to unfold. Without it, you would not be ready for the weight of the calling God has placed on your life. This test is what will refine you into someone who can walk in victory, someone who can handle the blessings and the purpose that God has set aside for you. This test is a divine necessity. You cannot move forward into your calling until you have passed it. But once you do, once you overcome, everything will shift. Every door that has been closed will swing open. Every effort that has felt pointless will begin to take root and flourish. But first, you must pass this final test. In our human nature, we often want to escape difficulty, to sidestep challenges whenever we can. We pray for the storm to pass quickly, for the struggles to end before we are stretched too thin. But the truth about this final test is that it's not about escaping hardship. It's about enduring it. It's not about running away from the pain, the confusion, or the uncertainty. It's about trusting that God has a purpose for it, and that purpose is to build your endurance. This test is not about your ability to avoid struggle. It is about your ability to persevere, to hold fast to your faith, even when everything inside you wants to give up. This test is about learning the power of endurance. It's about developing the strength to press on when the road gets tough, when the answers aren't coming, when you feel like you're walking in circles with no end in sight. The world will tell you to give up, that it's not worth it, that you've done enough. But God is calling you to go further, to hold on longer, and to stand taller. When you pass this test, you are not just proving your ability to withstand hardship. You are proving that you have the strength to hold on to God's promises when everything around you tells you to let go. Endurance is not just about surviving the storm. It's about trusting God through it. The storm will come, the winds will blow, and the waves will crash. But if you can remain anchored in God's promises, if you can hold on to His word no matter what, you will find that you are stronger for having endured it. Take the story of Joseph, for example. Joseph was a man who was given a dream from God, a dream of greatness. But before that dream could be realized, he was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and imprisoned unjustly. It was a series of hardships that would have caused anyone else to give up, to lose hope, and to question God. But Joseph endured. He didn't try to escape the pain, the betrayal, or the suffering. He didn't take matters into his own hands and make shortcuts. Instead, he trusted God's timing. He believed in God's plan, and he endured through it all. And when the time came, God elevated him to a position of authority and power, fulfilling the very dream that had been given to him years earlier. Joseph's story is proof that endurance in the face of adversity leads to divine elevation. God does not promise that the path will be easy, but He does promise that if you endure, if you remain faithful, He will lead you to the place He has prepared for you. You are not alone in this journey. Just as God was with Joseph through every hardship, He is with you now, walking beside you every step of the way. Your endurance through this final test will shape you into the person you need to be to carry your divine purpose. God's purpose in testing is not to punish, but to refine. The crucible of testing is where your faith is made stronger, where your character is sharpened, and where you are prepared to step fully into your calling. When you are in the fire, it is not to destroy you, it is to purify you, to burn away the impurities that would hinder your ability to carry the blessing God is preparing for you. The process of refinement is a painful one, but it is necessary. Think of gold being refined in a furnace. The gold is placed in the fire to burn away the impurities, the things that do not belong. The heat is intense, and the process takes time, but the end result is pure gold, a substance that is valuable, strong, and unblemished. In the same way, God uses the fire of testing to refine you, to burn away the fear, the doubt, and the insecurities that could prevent you from walking in the fullness of your purpose. The test you are facing is part of that refining process. Every challenge, every trial, every moment of discomfort is working to purify you. You may feel like you're being stretched beyond your limits, but know this: God is shaping you into someone who can handle the weight of the blessings He has for you. The things that once held you back, the fear of failure, the doubt in your own abilities, the pride that kept you from relying fully on God, are being burned away in this fire. The testing is not about hurting you, it's about preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. In Isaiah 48:10, God says, "I have refined you, though not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction." This furnace is not a place of punishment. It is a place of transformation. Just as silver is refined by fire, so too are you refined in the furnace of affliction. The fire may feel unbearable at times, but it is through the fire that you become stronger, more resilient, and more capable of stepping into the fullness of God's purpose for your life. The test is not just about getting through it, it's about what you become in the process. God is more interested in who you are becoming than what you are receiving. The blessing is important, but the transformation that occurs through the testing is even more important. God is shaping a heart in you that trusts Him, a character that reflects Him, and a faith that will not waver when the challenges of life come your way. This is the refining process, and it is necessary for you to step fully into your destiny. So, embrace the fire, chosen one. Know that every moment of discomfort, every challenge you face, is part of God's divine plan to transform you into the person He has called you to be. The refining may be painful, but the reward on the other side is worth it. God is not just preparing the blessing for you. He is preparing you to carry the blessing with grace, humility, and strength. Trust the process, for on the other side of the fire is the pure, refined version of yourself that God is calling you to be. Every journey has its delays. Some are a natural part of life's ebb and flow, while others are caused by our own actions or lack thereof. In the spiritual realm, the delay is often the result of a test that God has placed in front of us, a test designed not to hinder us, but to refine us. The key to breaking free from cycles of delay is passing that test. Until we embrace the lessons it brings, until we surrender fully to God's process, we will continue to find ourselves in a pattern of waiting, wandering, and wondering why things aren't moving forward. This final test is your opportunity to break free. Think about the Israelites. They were chosen by God, set apart to receive the promise of a land flowing with milk and honey. But what did they do? They doubted, they complained, and they resisted God's plan. They found themselves in the wilderness for 40 years, a journey that should have taken only a fraction of that time. Why? Because they failed to trust God's plan. They failed the test that was set before them. And as a result, they wandered, never reaching the promised land. Their journey was delayed by their own lack of faith, their inability to surrender to God's process. But here's the truth you need to understand. The wilderness was never meant to be their destination. It was a temporary testing ground, a place where they were meant to grow, to trust, and to become the people God needed them to be. But for those who fail the test, the wilderness becomes their prison. They remain stuck in a cycle of delay, never moving forward, never stepping into the fullness of God's promises. How many times have you prayed for breakthrough, for new opportunities, for doors to open, only to feel like you're walking in circles? This is the frustration of the delay, and it comes because we have yet to pass the test. Just as the Israelites could not enter the promised land until they passed the test of trust and obedience, you too are being prepared for something greater. But it's going to require you to embrace this final test, to endure the struggles, and to trust that God's plan is better than anything you can imagine. The consequences of delay are more than just frustration. They can rob us of the peace, the joy, and the fulfillment that comes with walking in God's purpose. When we resist the process, we remain stuck in the same patterns, the same cycles. But when we pass the test, the floodgates of God's blessings are opened, and we step into a new season of growth, opportunity, and divine fulfillment. The key to breaking free from these cycles is to endure, to trust, and to recognize that God's timing is always perfect. When you pass the test, you break free from the chains of delay, and everything begins to shift. So, take heart. The test you're facing is not meant to keep you stuck. It's meant to prepare you to step into the fullness of what God has for you. If you're feeling stuck in a cycle, remember this. God has already equipped you to pass the test. He's not only testing your endurance, He's testing your faith, your trust, and your obedience. Once you pass, you'll step into a new season of favor, and everything will change. Your breakthrough is on the other side of this test, and when you pass it, the doors of your promised land will swing wide open. Now, let me share something that may be hard to hear, but is crucial in this journey. The key to passing this test is not striving harder, trying to control every outcome, or relying on your own strength. The key to success in this test is surrender. Yes, surrender. It may sound counterintuitive, especially when everything inside you wants to fight, to push, and to force your way through. But surrendering to God's will is the most powerful act of faith you can make. In the midst of trials and tests, we often try to take control. We seek to manipulate the situation, to make things happen according to our own understanding. But surrendering to God's will is not about giving up. It's about giving in. Giving in to His plan, trusting that He knows what's best, and believing that His timing is perfect, even when everything around you seems uncertain. Surrendering doesn't mean you're weak. On the contrary, it takes great strength to let go of control and trust that God's purpose will unfold, no matter how impossible it may seem. When you are in the middle of your test, it can be tempting to fight against it, to cry out in frustration, to wonder why things aren't happening on your timeline. But here's the truth. When you surrender, you open the door for God to move in ways that you could never make happen on your own. His plan is always better than ours, and His timing is always more precise than anything we could orchestrate. It is only when you fully surrender, when you let go of your own desires and trust God with everything, that you can truly experience the breakthrough He has prepared for you. Look at the life of Jesus. Before He began His ministry, He spent 40 days in the wilderness, facing hunger, temptation, and isolation. He was tested, just as you are being tested now. And during that time, He didn't fight or complain. He didn't try to control the situation or make it work on His own terms. He surrendered completely to the will of His Father, trusting that the plan would unfold in God's perfect time. It was this surrender that allowed Jesus to move forward in His mission, and it is the same surrender that will allow you to move forward in yours. The act of surrender is not a passive resignation to life's circumstances. It is a powerful declaration of trust in God's divine plan. Surrendering is not saying, I can't do it, but rather, I trust that God is in control and I will follow where He leads me. This act of surrender is what will carry you through the final test and enable you to step into the destiny God has for you. I want to encourage you right now, wherever you are, to take a moment and declare your surrender to God. It's not just words, it's an act of faith, a bold declaration that you trust Him with your future. Go ahead and type in the comments, Jesus, I surrender myself to you, as an act of worship and faith. Let this be a declaration of trust, a moment of surrender that marks the beginning of a new chapter in your life. God is ready to move, but He is waiting for you to release control and trust His perfect plan. You may not see the results right away, but don't doubt for a moment that God is at work. When you surrender, He begins to work in ways that you cannot even fathom. His plan will unfold in His time, and when it does, it will be far better than anything you could have imagined. Trust Him with every step, with every breath, and know that He is guiding you every moment of the way. So let go, surrender, and watch as God moves in your life in a way that only He can. You are not walking this journey alone. God is with you, and He will see you through. Keep trusting, keep surrendering, and watch the doors of your destiny begin to open. In the midst of life's most challenging tests, we often find ourselves impatient. We want answers now, results now, and relief now. The urgency within us builds as we face obstacles that seem too great to overcome. But there is a truth that we must come to terms with, and it is this: God's timing is never early, never late. It is always perfect. The test you are facing right now may feel like it's taking longer than you want, but understand this: the delay is not a denial. It is a divine setup. God is preparing you for something greater, and His timing plays a pivotal role in your ability to pass the test and step into your destiny. When we walk through life, we tend to think that things should happen according to our own schedule. We pray for breakthroughs, for doors to open, for answers to come quickly. And while God hears every prayer and sees every struggle, His timing does not always align with our expectations. This is where we must learn to trust Him, not just for the outcome, but for the timing of the outcome. There is a reason why certain doors have not opened yet, why certain answers have not come, and why the road seems long. It's because God is ensuring that you are fully prepared for the blessing that is coming. If He gave you everything you wanted on your timeline, you might not be ready for it. Divine timing is not about waiting in vain. It's about waiting with purpose. Every moment of waiting is working on your behalf. It is in these moments of uncertainty and delay that God is refining your faith, deepening your trust, and shaping your heart. He knows when you are truly ready, and He will never give you a blessing that you cannot handle. Trust in His perfect timing, for it is in the waiting that your character is being shaped and your foundation is being strengthened. When you're waiting for God's timing, it can feel like you're walking through fog, unsure of which direction to go. But as you continue to trust in Him, He will lead you clearly. What seems like an endless wait will soon be understood as the preparation you needed. It's in the moments of stillness, of uncertainty, that God is setting you up for a greater breakthrough than you could ever imagine. When the time is right, everything will align perfectly. The doors you've been knocking on will open wide, and the breakthroughs you've been praying for will come to fruition. All in God's perfect timing. Let me share with you how trusting in God's timing can bring peace even in the midst of uncertainty. When you surrender your need to control and allow God to lead you, you release the burden of figuring everything out on your own. Imagine for a moment the peace you would feel if you stopped worrying about when things would happen and trusted that God was already working behind the scenes. It's a peace that surpasses understanding. It's the assurance that God's timing is perfect, and you are exactly where you need to be at this moment. You may not see the full picture now, but trust that God sees it all. He knows the perfect moment for your breakthrough. Trust in His timing, and know that your faithfulness in the waiting will lead to your elevation. Now that we've discussed the importance of timing, let's focus on the ultimate purpose of this test: to step into your destiny. This test is not just a challenge to endure, it is a gateway. It is the final step before you walk in the fullness of your divine purpose. The truth is, this test isn't just about proving that you can handle the pressure. It's about showing you what you are capable of and preparing you for the life that lies on the other side. This final test serves as a threshold, a crossing over from where you've been into where you are meant to be. God has been preparing you for this moment, and now, as you face the test, He is asking you to make the choice. Will you trust Him to lead you into the destiny He has for you? The test is a defining moment. It will determine whether you can handle the weight of the blessings that are coming your way. God's calling on your life is great, and in order to walk fully in it, you must be prepared. This test is the refining fire that strengthens your foundation, so that when you step into your destiny, you will be able to carry it with grace and integrity. Think of it like crossing a bridge. The test is the last step you need to take before you step onto the solid ground of your destiny. On the other side of this test is everything you've prayed for: the success, the fulfillment, the divine purpose you've always felt deep within you. But before you can walk fully into this destiny, you must pass the test. It's not to break you, it's to prepare you, to make sure that when you step into your future, you are ready to carry everything that God has for you. Let me encourage you today. On the other side of this test is your breakthrough. The obstacles you've been facing will fall away, and you will step into a season of divine fulfillment. The doors that have remained closed will open, and the path before you will be clear. But in order to get there, you must press forward. Do not allow doubt, fear, or discouragement to stop you. You are closer than you think. This test, though challenging, is the very thing that will propel you into the next phase of your divine purpose. You may feel tired, you may feel overwhelmed, but I want to remind you, God has already equipped you to pass this test. He has given you everything you need. All you have to do is keep going, keep trusting, and keep moving forward. You are walking towards the fullness of what He has planned for you, and nothing can stop it. Take a moment to reflect on what this test represents. It is the final step, the final challenge before you step into your purpose. This test is a gateway, and passing it will unlock the doors to your destiny. Do not fear the test. Do not shy away from it. Embrace it, knowing that God is with you, refining you, and preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. As we come to the close of this journey, let's recap the purpose of the final test. It is not meant to break you, but to strengthen you. It is a divine opportunity to refine your heart, to deepen your faith, and to prepare you for the blessings that are about to unfold. This test is the gateway to your destiny, and it is through passing it that you will step fully into the life that God has designed for you. Embrace this test, knowing that God is with you every step of the way. You are not alone in this journey. Trust His timing, trust the process, and trust that He is refining you for something greater. Your breakthrough is on the horizon. The waiting, the challenges, the tests, they are all leading you to the place where you will walk in the fullness of God's promises for your life. I encourage you to reflect on your own journey and the test you are facing. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. What are the challenges that you've been overcoming? How are you preparing to pass the final test? And remember to like, subscribe, and stay connected for more powerful messages that will empower you to keep pressing forward. You are not alone. God is with you, and the best is yet to come. Keep moving forward and step boldly into your destiny.